Let's go. Sip of Growth number 2. I had so much fun filming the first one, and I hope you guys liked it as well. I've been getting some great response, answering some of your questions. I have 4 top questions from my community that I'm going to share with you guys. So the drink that we have today is Glenmorangie, 12 years old. This is a special edition that's actually put in a barrel of Porto, a Portuguese Porto wine. And as you guys know, you need to put your Scotch rocks so you won't dilute it. And let's go ahead and have fun with our first pour. Okay, that was a healthy pour. I really put a lot. Cheers, guys, to our success. Let's go. Oh my God, that is really good. Like I said, because this is a Porto, it kind of gives like a red effect. It's not like this like clear brown. It does taste like it a bit. Well, this Scotch is really good. Oh my God, we're gonna have fun. So let's get started with the first question. And this question is actually from Amanda. So she says, I have a hard time selling myself and putting myself out there proactively. Any advice on getting started? Now, this is a great question. A lot of people have this analysis paralysis when it comes to selling themselves, selling a product, or just putting themselves out there. And the honest advice, it's probably gonna be counterintuitive. It's as simple as just getting started. Now, what do I mean by this? Is that you have to start before you think you're ready. Because the reality of the matter is, if you plan and wait before you think that you're 100% ready before putting yourself out there or putting a product out there, you're just never gonna start. You have to start with the imperfection that you have. And as you put yourself out there, then you're going to see what works, what doesn't work, and kind of go with that. And I've actually done a previous video on, I think the one right before this was the book review on Go Givers Sell More. And the reason why I'm bringing this book up is because they kind of approach selling in a different way, which essentially is you're not trying to sell anything, just connect with individuals. So stop putting like selling aspect of like, oh my God, I'm talking to a customer. Oh my God, is this, that, and the other. No, it's one individual talking to another individual. So if you approach it like that in a more friendly, organic way, you just let it see where that goes. And then that person could be a potential customer for you, or their friend could be a potential customer, or you could be a potential customer for them. So just go there with the most like relaxed mindset behind it and don't expect it to be perfect. Just start and learn as you go along, because the experiences that I've had as a salesperson is I've only gotten better every single time that I've sold something, or every single time that I've offered my services or my products to somebody. I've learned from it and have evolved from what the market is telling me. So just put yourself out there. Don't expect it to be perfect. It is not perfect, and you shouldn't strive for perfection, because in reality, perfection doesn't exist. I believe as human beings, we are perfect within our imperfection. So the second question, this is actually a question that I received in a comment of a video that I put on YouTube, which was the 7 unhealthy habits that I'm glad that I quit. So the question was, hey Chris, when you talk about toxic people, would you personally include family members in that as well? A lot of people get put down by their own family. Now, when we're talking about, in this particular video, toxic people, I was saying one of the most unhealthy habits that I'm glad that I pushed out of my life is just being away from toxic people. It's just not necessary. They only bring you down. It's not an energy that you want. You want to be with people that are vibrating at the same level as you, that think the same way as you, that have that growth mindset, because that's only going to propel you forward, or be with people that you want to think like them, right? So now within this question, does toxic people include family members? Unfortunately, yes. Not only unfortunately, yes, most of the time, the people that are the most toxic to you are the people that are the closest to you. And this question is actually by Julian, so G. Brosseau, it's written. So the reality is you have to be able to look at who are these toxic people, who am I feeling toxicity towards, and push them away. And if it is a family member, that's perfectly okay as well. Now, when we're talking about this, imagine it's your parents and you're living under the same roof. All you have to do, I'm not saying push away your parents. All we're saying is if there's certain things that they're toxic about, don't bring out that subject, or don't make it that's in the forefront. And if they start talking about that, or we start talking about something that's toxic that you don't want to be involved in, then just nicely leave the room or go towards something else, or change the subject. So yes, be very much aware that there's toxic conversations that happen not only with people that are out of your circle, but people that are very close to your circle, and it can be with your family. Now, Another thing over here is that you could somewhat push away these people because they're toxic for X amount of time, but that might just be a period as well. Maybe it's just a couple of years, maybe it's a couple of months, and then that changes. So people do evolve. So always give that opportunity for people to evolve, but do not accept toxicity within your life, because that is a choice. Oh, this scotch is really good. Hey guys, if you see there's some value within this video so far, don't hesitate at all to give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification to find out when our future video comes out. Why am I fumbling? Is this the alcohol? Steven, this might be the alcohol. You're gonna have fun editing this. If you see there's some value within this video so far, don't hesitate at all to give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification to find out when our weekly videos come out. And furthermore, as you guys are seeing, I'm sitting down here just answering amazing questions. So if you guys have any questions, just comment it down below. It will be my pleasure to answer any questions you guys have on personal development, on peak performance, on entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth. So let's go into the third question. So this question is from Vinny. And he says, what is the step-by-step plan from getting up at 6:30 a.m. to now 4:30 a.m.? And the second part to this question is, what are the routines, rituals, and habits someone needs to get there? The question is essentially, how do we get up earlier and what do we need to do to get up earlier? And he's asking me this question because, like I mentioned in the first video, I wake up at 4 a.m. every single day consistently. So how do we get to waking up early? I would suggest go gradually. In this scenario over here, Vince is saying that I'm waking up at 6:30 a.m. and he wants to wake up at 4:30 a.m. That 2-hour jump doesn't happen in one day. It shouldn't even happen in one day. Even if you could do it for like, hey, one day I'm waking up at 2 hours earlier, it's not gonna be sustainable for the long run. What we wanna do here is look at a way that it can be sustainable. So the best way I could go about it, in the way that I got into waking up at 4 a.m. over the last several years, is I started in increments of 15 minutes. So I did a week of, if I'm waking up at usually 6:30, I did a week at 6:15. So I woke up for the whole week 6:15. Next week, 6. And the week after that, 5:45, and so on and so forth until you hit your goal of what time you want to wake up. As you're doing this in increments of 15 minutes, first of all, it puts less of a stress on your wake up schedule, and it gives time for your body to really realize this change that you're doing. It's going to give time for the proper serotonin levels to come up at the proper moments, and it's going to give that understanding towards your body with that routine. So first thing, go incremental steps. Second thing, this is gonna sound like a bit crazy, but I'm telling you it works. Before going to bed, I always tell myself I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. If I don't commit just verbally to my conscious and subconscious mind that I'm not gonna wake up at that particular time, it's just harder to wake up. And just think about it. The best example I could give, have you guys had to go on a vacation, and the vacation you had to wake up at 4 a.m. because the flight was at 6 and 4 a.m. is not something you usually wake up at, but you were so nervous to miss that 4 a.m. You went to bed thinking about that 4 a.m. and you woke up a few minutes actually before the alarm, even though it's not your regular time, even though you did not sleep a lot. It's because you put in your subconscious mind throughout the whole day and before going to bed, and maybe even when you were closing your eyes, I need to wake up at 4. I need to wake up at 4. So start programming your subconscious mind with the time that you want to wake up. It's going to wake up even sometimes before the alarm in itself. So that's another trick that I'm going to give over there. And finally, the most important one, go to bed early. Listen, you're not going to wake up early in the morning at 4:30 a.m. if you're going to bed at midnight or X, Y, and Z. You have to figure out how long you need to sleep, you personally, because it varies per person. If you need 6 hours of sleep, beautiful. You have to calculate, if I want to wake up at 4, okay, put 6 hours before that. What time do I need to go to bed? If I need 8 hours of sleep, perfect. If I need to go to bed at 4, that means I have to go to bed at 8 a.m. if I want to wake up at, 8 p.m. if I want to wake up at 4 a.m. Whatever the case is, calculate how much hours of sleep works best for you and reverse engineer from the time you want to wake up. Because people try to wake up early, but they don't care, or they don't necessarily put emphasis on their sleeping habits, on how to go to bed, how to unwind before going to bed. So the most important thing is really figure out what time you need to go to bed so you could wake up at the morning that you want to wake up within the time. The fourth and final question is from Amanda again, and the question is, I like to read and expand my knowledge continuously, but I still find myself lacking confidence in my experience. What's going on? I love the last part. What's going on, right? You could read all the books in the world. You could get all the knowledge in the world, but if you do not put it in action, then you're not really learning anything. There's a very famous quote from Stephen R. Covey, and he has a very famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which he says, to know and not to do is really not to know. So knowing something and not acting upon it is really not to know about it. So it's good to acknowledge that you need to learn and continually get that experience. But if you're not putting it in the forefront, then you're never gonna really succeed at it. Now, this is one aspect. I know that this person particularly knows this, but where it comes into play is the confidence aspect. Now, the confidence level usually happens because you're comparing yourself with somebody else. And when we're talking about comparing, you're looking at somebody's, and I say this often within my videos, you're comparing somebody's step 75 to your step 17. You're looking at somebody that you admire or somebody that's like you want to be like, but you're not looking at all the struggles they went through to get to that point. And you're comparing to where you are to where they are. But you're in the beginning of your journey maybe, right? And you're on your step 17. It doesn't mean you're not going to get there. You're going to get to 75, 100, and so on and so forth. But you have to allow yourself to be there. So allow yourself, first of all, to be imperfect, a bit like the first question we answered. So be imperfect. Allow yourself to understand that you're talking to another human being. So just putting yourself out there is going to help you out to know like, hey, there's nothing perfect. It's going to diminish that pressure that you have. So the main thing is trust yourself, have confidence in yourself to be like, yeah, I know what's up. Let me put it in practice. And even if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. Nobody's perfect. Go ask your parents. This is the best example I could probably give. Go ask your parents, hey, parents, did you guys know what you were doing when you raised me? I'm telling you, 99.9% of the time, the parents are going to say, I had no idea. I was figuring out as we're going. And that's the honest truth. We're all out here trying to figure out. Nobody has the answers. Even though I'm here talking to you guys, this is my experience of what I've lived. But the reality is we don't have the answers. Only you go forward while living life, you're going to figure it out. But it's only through the lessons that you're going to learn. So don't expect to know everything and don't seek out to know everything before taking action. Just go. While you're doing it, you're going to learn, you're going to figure it out. And one last thing I'm going to say about confidence. There's so many ways to activate your confidence, right? Maybe it could be as simple as buying new clothing. And when you wear nice clothes, you feel confident. Maybe it's losing a couple of pounds. That's going to get you a bit more confidence. Maybe it's learning self-defense, which is going to give you more confidence. So look at some other activities that could stimulate that. Because once you get that confidence in one way, it's going to trickle to everything else. So look at what is helping your confidence, what is diminishing your confidence, and do not compare yourself with other people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and this was as fun for you guys to watch it as it was for me to make it, because as you guys are seeing, I am just such a fan of personal development. This is really my passion. So guys, like I said, this whole series is on me answering questions. So please comment down below any questions you guys have about peak performance, entrepreneurship, personal growth, about anything, and I'll answer it with the best of my abilities while sitting down here and having a great glass of scotch. On that note, I hope you guys have a blessed and grateful day. Cheers.